while we talk Utah Jazz basketball. The Jazz are favored by 6.5 points tonight.
Right.
229 is the number.
Uh-huh.
Is Kyle Kuzma a star? The Utah Running Ute alum is in town tonight. Where are you at with this? How do you feel about it? Is Kyle Kuzma a star?
He's a 4A guy. He's a guy that can come in, take over one game every 5, and win you one game every 5. And then he'll disappear the next night. That's who he is. He's no better than Jordan Clarkson, in my opinion. He's no better than any guy that is not a superstar but can give you 30 a night, right? Like that's just who Kyle Kuzma is. And I think, like Kyle Kuzma is no better than Tyler Hero, in my opinion. He is a little more consistent, but if we're talking about profile and reputation, they're the same guy, in my opinion. You are the same guy. And to me, I think Kyle Kuzma can contribute and be a contributing factor on a championship team, but he's certainly not some guy that's going to take you to the promised land like a Kevin Durant or a Giannis would. That's not who Kyle Kuzma is. Now, if you're Kyle Kuzma, you're telling everybody that you're the best thing in the league and nobody can guard you, right? And you're just going to heat check the whole game. That's what you're telling people. But if we're being honest, no, he's not a superstar. He's not... he's an all-star caliber player, but he's not that top-end, top-cut guy that I think he would like to be perceived as. I think he's grown a lot in his career. I think he's really built his body. You can see a major difference from when he started out to where he is. So I think he's a hell of a player, but I don't think he's some superstar, take you to the NBA Finals type guy.
I think he is a guy that can he carry your team? For short stretches, he can. I don't believe that Kyle Kuzma is what the Lakers are missing. I don't. I think that Braun wants him back on the team because I think he's a known commodity, right? I don't think he's the guy that the Lakers are missing. And what I see in Kyle Kuzma is a rapidly developing player. And I still don't think we've seen the best out of him. What he was with the Lakers, he was that guy that was on mute, right? Like you never heard from him. You never heard about him, because he was always overshadowed. He got to Washinton, where you have a guy in Brad Beal who's always injured. He misses a lot of games. Kyle Kuzma fills that void. Kyle Kuzma is on the runways in New York fashion shows. Like, he's that cool, neat, hip figure. He's that guy that kids like to watch. He's that guy who just, there's something about him that makes him hip and cool and popular with your fan base. But he's not that guy, pal, who you can give the ball to and say, hey, go win me a game.
Yeah.
I don't believe that that's who Kyle Kuzma is. Again, I think he's Lauri Markkanen, but with more personality. That's what Kyle Kuzma is.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I think he's a second or third option on a very good team, Jake. And I think if he's your best player, you're not probably going to win a championship.
Yeah, I like that comparison. He's Lauri Markkanen with more personality. I like that comparison a lot. I mean, I think that obviously, they're built differently. Lauri's a 7-footer. Like, obviously their games are a bit different. But really, at the end of the day, you look at the impact they have on the game, they're basically the same guy. They just play a different position. And to me, there are several of these guys in the league, and so that's why I say, no, he's not some, $45, $50 million a year guy. That's not who he is. I would pay Kyle anywhere between 27 and probably 33, 34 million a year. That's where I'd be happy to pay him by NBA standards. And I think that, as far as the Jazz are concerned, yeah, they could probably use a Kyle Kuzma, but I don't want Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Clarkson on the same team.
No, I would agree with that.
I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in trading some of my assets to get a true, clean-cut, cold-blooded point guard, because I love Mike Conley, but he's just hurt too much, And I think this team with a point guard that could play every single night, could play, let's call it 75 games. I think if you had a point guard who had Mike Conley's ability but could play 75 games, this team would be way different. This team would be way more consistent. This team would perform at their best level for this squad and this roster, 6, 7 nights out of 10 instead of 3, 4 nights out of 10, which is where they are right now, in my opinion. 3 or 4 games out of 10, you're going to get their best, and they're going to win those games, right? But then 6, 7 nights out of 10, you're going to get Jordan Clarkson perusing the paint, picking up his dribble, and turning it over. That's what you're going to get right now. So that's why I say, I like watching Kyle Kuzma play basketball, but he's not Brad Beal. He's not Jason Tatum.
Brad Beal.
He's not any of these top-end guys. He's just not.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it doesn't mean that Kuz is a bad player, because certainly he's not. But we have to, at some point in this league, and I think this is a major problem with the Lakers. Like, look at LeBron James. Is LeBron James still able to be the best player on a championship team?
Yeah.
I think it's really close. If he's the best player on a championship team, you need a dynamic number 2. Kyle Kuzma is not a dynamic number 2, right? I think you need a number 2, and you need 2-3 guys that can knock down the 3 at a 35 to 40% clip if you're the Lakers to try and win a championship. I think that's what LeBron James is. But make no mistake about it, Kyle Kuzma can be one of the best players on a championship team. But if you're Boston, if you are, like, look at Golden State. Golden State's in real trouble. I don't know how to break this to you.
Yeah.
Golden State's in real trouble. And I know that you are unbelievably disappointed. You cried yourself to sleep last night.
Internal.
Yeah, it was internal for you last night.
That's an issue.
Because they got blown out again.
Yeah.
And it was ugly. And Steph Curry is not what this team is missing. They're missing, actual quality basketball. That's what they're missing. Steph Curry doesn't fix what happened last night. They got blown up last night. Again. They gave up 91 points in the first half to the Nets. That's not Steph Curry.
What are you talking about, man?
I don't care what anybody
91 in the first half.
91 points in the first half, and Kevin Durant really didn't play in the second half.
Dude.
Like, it is unbelievable to me. The Golden State Warriors are this bad, and it's inexplicable, really. If we're being honest, it's inexplicable that the Golden State Warriors are this bad. Uh-oh. Like, I just don't. I don't understand.
I think that Steve Kerr is having to write a handbook on how to deal with. Hey, my team sucks with the press. Like you're hearing him say things like every team goes through this, and every team hits rock bottom, and every team whether it's fatigue or injury or otherwise is going to have a tough stretch. The problem, Steve, as much as I love you, bro, the problem is that this tough stretch has been the whole year. It's not like it's been 7 games and you guys have just looked trash. I don't care who you are. 91 and a half is absolutely, utterly embarrassing. And
46 in the first quarter, 45 in the second quarter.
Yeah, that adds up to 91 and a half. Woo. What you typically give up in what?
A game.
40 minutes?
45
in a game. Minutes? Yeah.
In a game.
And so to me, I look at this and I say, yeah, Steph Curry, not having Steph is a huge loss, of course. But I agree. That's not why you're giving up 91 and a half.
You didn't play Steph or Clay last night. I understand that. Those are 2 decent defensive pieces. But Draymond Green scoring 2 points in 23 minutes?
Fucking A.
Jordan Poole is a superstar, and he's going to be no, he's not. 13 points in 26 minutes? Your best player last night was by far James Wiseman, who I actually thought probably played his best game as a pro, not because of the statistics, but because it seemed like he finally understood how to, operate at the NBA level.
Yeah.
This team's in real trouble now. By the way, I would remind you that we, the beloved Brooklyn Nets, scored 143 points without Caruso.
Yeah.
Kyrie did not play in that game.
Yeah.
And I would just point out, my friends, that they got double digits from all of their starters. And they got 16 off the pine. And again, Edmund Sumner, good old Eddie Sumner.
Yeah, Ed.
Is dominating.
Yeah.
That guy is a legit contributor off the bench. Patty Mills is shooting it well. Ben Simmons is defending it well.
Yeah. Let's see what they can do in the playoffs.
Daddy done told you.
Learn your lesson.
Warn you.
Learn your lesson.
I warned you.
You told us last year, too. Learn your lesson.
They
can do it in the regular season. Let's see what it's like in the postseason.
Look, it's not my fault that Kevin Durant wears a size 37 shoe. Anyway.
Yeah.
I love talking the NBA.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can see that, but I do. Josh Leverett says pool for Towns. Who says no? No.
I say no.
Yeah, I don't want
Karl Anthony Towns.
The ending to the Jazz versus Warriors game perfectly describes the Warriors season so far. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. You just melted down. Like you just could not execute. Teddy, that's a great point. That is a great point. Brett Robbins says LeBron going to sign with Cleveland on vet minimum to win 2 more chips before he retires. Nah, he's not leaving L.A. His kids are too entrenched in LA. He loves going to his kids' games. He loves them coming to his games. And I think Bronny is exploding on the scene now. He has really turned into an unbelievable player. I think he wants his two sons to play with the Lakers. Like, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Josh Levern says Golden State high mileage Warriors. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Father Time is undefeated.
But again,
man.
you're seeing their draft process and their young guys being tested now. And I think that, yeah, last night was utterly embarrassing and totally unacceptable. However, would anyone be surprised 2 months from now if they, played spoiler for playoff teams? Like, hey, we're not going to the playoffs, but we remember Brooklyn when you put up 91.5 and embarrassed us, and Kyrie was in his ugly ass sweater dancing on the bench. We remember that, and we're gonna ruin your season. So don't be surprised if Steve Kerr and company find a way to get this team going. But I agree, they are in trouble. But I would not be surprised to see if they bounce back.
And by the way, Bob Myers still has not signed a contract extension,
which is unbelievable to me. I
Their
don't
general
understand
manager.
it. I don't know if that's a Bob thing or what, but that's unbelievable to me.
I don't know. UC Regent Gumby says, guys, good morning, guys.
Right.
Good morning, Gumby. Gumby have and I know that you have.
Hey, guys.
I'm assuming you've watched the free webinar at TryDayTrading.com/Monty. You know that our NBA Talk and Jazz Talk is always brought to you by our friends at TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Hook it up today. Make sure that you are watching that free webinar. Make sure that you are registering, watching it. It's no obligation, and I'm telling you, as I say every day multiple times, day trading is absolutely a route to financial freedom and prosperity for you and your family. You just have to take the simple step of watching a free no obligation webinar. And there are people today on December 22nd who are going to pocket $1,000. Are you going to make $1,000 today? I don't know. You're probably not. And if you're not, you need to get to TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Are you going to make $100? Are you going to make $500 today?
Me?
You're not? Well, go ahead and get to TryDayTrading.com/Monty, because there are people who have gone through the Tri-Day Trading program in mass numbers, making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single day because they went through the TryDayTrading.com program. They teach you, they coach you, they mentor you. They continue that education and that mentorship throughout your trading career. And the best part is when you're ready to actually make live trades, you do that with their money, not your money. And if you make money with TryDayTrading.com's money, they split the profit with you. Hook it up today. Free, no obligation webinar. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Josh Levern says, don't think Golden State would get up for spoiler hoops. Yeah, I don't know what Golden State becomes. What becomes of Golden State?
That's what they have to figure out.
Because I don't even at this point, I don't know that I could say they're going to be a playoff team at this point. And I think when you're a game and a half out of Minnesota in the West for the last playoff spot.
The Rudy Goberts.
Who, by the way, Rudy Gobert was back with the team last night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I just don't think Draymond Green can play at a high level anymore. Watching last night, that's what stood out to me. He just looks like a dude that's out of gas.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever recovered to this point from the finals last year where he just looked gassed.
Yeah.
Where he just looked exhausted. He doesn't have the same jump in his step anymore. And he never was a great three-point shooter, but he could knock a couple down a game. He's not even doing that anymore. He's not a great rebounder. He's still a really high-level defender. But you're seeing the erosion of Draymond Green's skill set. And I just, when I look in the West and I see Sacramento fighting their asses off, and you look at that team, and you start asking yourself, like, who are the up-and-coming teams in the NBA Western Conference?
Yeah.
Sacramento's got to be in that conversation now. There's just no other way to avoid that. Every Laker starter is in double figures. Now, they only got 22 points off their bench last night. But every starter, Lonnie Walker, again, I will just keep saying that name. Lonnie Walker's a 20-point-a-night guy in this league. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But Walker, Schroeder, Pat Bev, Thomas Bryant, and LeBron James all in double figures. LeBron was unbelievable last night. And they still lost by 14 to the Sacramento Kings.
Because they don't play defense.
They don't. Sabonis, that Sabonis trade looks like an absolute home run. You look at Herder last night, 26 points on 3 of 7 from 3. Like, they have a complete roster. You have guys on that bench that are competing. You have guys on that bench. You get 10 points out of a bench contributor for Sacramento, and that's almost like 20 on any other team.
Right.
Because you have such a balanced starting 5. Sacramento should scare you. If you're not following the Kings, they should scare you. You look at who else in the West, I don't think there's any doubt the Jazz are up and coming. I don't view them as some team that is just rebounding off of, wrecking their roster.
Yeah.
That team's up and coming. The Clippers are far better than 5 over 500. They're 19 and 14. When that team's healthy, that team is the best team in the Western
again,
Conference.
I have to say, how long are we going to ask that question? When this team is healthy, like at some point, they got to get healthy.
Well, I think you're seeing that, and having watched most of this game the other night, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard look great. I don't know how else to describe it. They look like they are refreshed when they're on the floor, and I know we're managing their loads.
Right, managing their loads.
But Paul George and Kawhi Leonard look really good. And I still maintain that Reggie Jackson has a lot to offer on that team. I think that Nick Batum is still a very high-level three-point shooter in this league. I think that you're getting Norman Powell contributions. I think Luke Kennard's a guy that can score 15 to 17 points in any given day, depending on what the role is that they need him to play. Like, I'm telling you, that's the best team in the Western Conference when they're right.
Yeah.
It's not close. But I also don't happen to be a Denver guy. I'm not somebody that's like, oh my God, Jokic. If Nikola Jokic doesn't play for Denver, are they a playoff team?
No.
They're not.
No.
He is the whole
Which
nine
is why
for
his
them.
MVP case is strong, because I think that he is so important.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
And I think that, when he's dropping 40-point triple-doubles, a game or 2 out of 10, I mean, you're going to win. You're going to win those games. You just are. And I think that Jokic is somebody who is not super fun to watch, but he's extremely efficient and extremely productive, and he's a good team guy.
Who do you guys think is the best team in the NBA right now? In the comments section, let's get it rolling. Who do you think is the best team in the NBA right now? I think I can make a case that Donnie and the Cavs are playing the best basketball in the NBA. Did you guys see it? Like, they pretty well handled Milwaukee last night. And Giannis still had 40, and Donovan Mitchell was just a more impactful player. It's pretty remarkable how much him and Jared Allen complement each other.
Yeah.
Like, Jared Allen's defense last night, 3, 4, 5 times led to fast break opportunities. And I think...
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's development is clear. I think that Donovan is just better. I think that his shot taking, his shot selection is better, so he's making more of the shots that he does take. I think that his ability to understand that he can play, pick and roll, that he can, he can pass. He can. And I think that Jared Allen is somebody who needs a guy like that. Jared Allen thrives when you put him in good positions. He's not like, there are some guys like you play pick and roll with who it's like, all right, yeah, he may dunk this or he may lay it up. No, Jared Allen can posterize anybody provided that you give him a running start to the basket. And I think that that's invaluable to have on a team. Like, I think that they have really nice balance. And by the way, this whole concept of, hey, Donnie's on that team, so the spotlight's off at Darius Garland, makes them way better, because now Darius Garland doesn't feel like he's got to carry his load through the team, right? Darius Garland can just do him, and it turns out to be 30 a night most nights. Again,
I know Salty Drunk yesterday lit us up over this. Who didn't play for the Bucks last night? Chris Middleton. And they miss him when he does not play. And I love Drew Holiday.
What, Joe Ingles wasn't getting it done?
Oh, my God. Did you see Donnie toying with Joe Ingles?
Yeah, I think Joe Ingles is still looking for a map. Jeez.
Donovan Mitchell, if you didn't see it, Donnie toyed with Joe Ingles at times last night. But, yeah, I look at Garland. I think you're exactly right about Darius Garland. Now that he's not in the middle of the spotlight the entire night, like, I think he's a better player for it.
Keep it real.
I mean, him, though, like, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell are a problem. That team's a problem.
But look at the points, seriously. So how many points did Donnie have last night?
36 on 15 of 16 from the free throw stripe.
What did Garland have?
Garland had 23, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, but 4 boards, 2 dimes, and a steal.
You see what I mean? So Donovan is the best player, but Darius is putting up numbers.
But what's the number on Donovan Mitchell that really matters? It'd be this guy right here, 2 turnovers. He plays 37 minutes, takes 21 shots, and only turns it over twice.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big freaking deal, dude. And they only played 8 guys. And Karis LeVert, again.
Yeah.
Cedi Osman, Kevin Love, I think, has given them huge 9 boards and 5 dimes last night.
Yeah.
9 boards and 5 dimes.
That's damn good production for a bench guy.
I think I could make the argument. that team's going to be a problem in the postseason. I don't know that they can score enough against Boston defensively, but we'll see. All right, who do you guys think is the best team in the NBA right now? Tyler P says the Celtics. I think it's hard to argue that. California 2023 says the Clips. Dude, I think I'm with you on the Clippers in the West. I think the LA Clippers. I know I'm stupid and we say it every year. I know. And you hold me accountable for that. Cavs looking really good. Teddy says yes, they are. Nets are 9-1 in their last 10.
They're hot. They're playing good basketball.
Yep. That Kevin Durant is just balling his ass off.
Yeah.
Like that. He doesn't look like a guy that should be a good basketball player, but he's just stupid good.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I love watching him play. I love it. San Diego State, what's up? His San Diego State's kid is going to Cal to play football. Why? No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. California 2023 says, I agree. He is an all-around player. Who are you talking about? Tyler P says, once Middleton is healthy, Bucks are the best team. But I don't know that he's starting to strike me. Chris Middleton with a K is starting to strike me as a guy that's not going to be healthy again.
Think that's HIPAA?
Because multiple NBA final or runs, one finals appearance into the Olympic tournament. Dude.
Yeah.
Lot of basketball. California says Garland for MVP. Come on.
Take it easy.
Come on.
Take it easy.
K. Nuren says Don takes Cleveland to the playoffs in a championship. I think there's a real good chance they're competing in the Eastern Conference Finals this year or next year. We'll see. I mean, Donnie never stays healthy. That's for sure. San Diego State says Tyler P. The Bucks would have been my choice, but for that reason, Middleton not being healthy. It's huge.
Yeah.
He's such an important player. California says Clips. Neville 93 says the Denver Nuggets look scary. I don't know why I'm saying that, but they look good, and Cleveland looks good too. There's always something missing with Michael Malone and the Denver Nuggets. There's just something there that's missing. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Because they're a better team this year than they were last year, but I still don't think they're a playoff team without Dad Bod. I really don't.
Yeah, they need him for sure.
Yeah, Jokic is the whole thing there. UC Regent Gumby says, go Bears. Barfing Chicken says, don't know anything about basketball. Still, the Dolphins win the finals in 3. Well, listen.
Dilly.
Fast break. Tua Tagovailoa, your daddy is
that's
really...
a good take. That's a good take.
Middleton and Draymond are on the same path in their NBA career now. Well, I just think they've both played so much basketball.
Yeah.
Father Time's undefeated. Jeremy Bolton, the mayor of Monty Town.
Well.
Well, hey, how about those Bulls last night? Man, speaking of Jeremy Bolton, did you see Caruso's concussion? Oof. Yeah, Caruso's in concussion protocol. And see, I've avoided talking about the Bulls. I've avoided it. Because they're pissing me off. Like, that team... The final 2 minutes of the game, and actually, I think in the final 35 seconds of the game, the Atlanta Hawks ran the exact same play twice, and Nikola Vucevic did the exact same thing twice, which was chose not to defend the rim, and they got a layup and an alley-oop dunk.
Yeah,
the Bulls are so bad defensively if Caruso's not in the lineup, and how are you reliant on Alex Caruso's defense, which again. He's an elite defender and role player. But they got lucky to win that game last night. Now, Zach LaVine hit a huge shot. DeMar hit a huge shot. John Collins was in the unenviable position. And if you've ever played basketball, you know a long shot that's an air ball is impossible to catch.
Yes.
Like, it's really difficult. So DeMar is with 4 seconds on the line, on the game. The clock. Game's on the line. They're tied. DeMar DeRozan in the corner, like, tries this fadeaway three that's an air ball. No, it wasn't. And it hit John Collins in the chest right off them man titties. And it went.
Hold on. Wait. I thought you just said right off them man titties.
Yeah, what?
Bro.
It did.
The nomenclature is his chest.
Oh, okay, my bad. It hit him right in those man titties. And it bounced right to Ayo Dosunmu, who laid it up and in. And the Bulls won the game. But please. And Dabo, if you're listening, please reach out to your close friend, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Because the Bulls need to tear that thing down.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Tear that thing down, Dabo. Please.
We really did.
The Bulls are terrible. It is so frustrating to watch. And again, I'm just going to say, again and again and again, can I just have one team in Chicago that's worth a damn? The Cubs, you're embarrassing. The Hawks are terrible. The Bulls are terrible. The Bears are terrible. And the White Sox, nobody cares. Like, they're not a team in Chicago. Like,
and that's how I look at it.
All I can do is hope the Chicago Fire eventually wind up playing football